What's going on, MFs? Welcome back to the Snake Pit. This is episode 199. Today, my guests are Dean and Eli. Dean is the owner and operator of Cinema 3 Studios, and Eli is his partner. And I heard about these guys through my guy, Izzy Money Vintage, and right now they're doing a documentary about the vintage clothing community here in Lubbock, Texas. So we've had a few of those guys on, and I'm really excited to share this with you guys because there's some interesting fellas, and I'm glad they're kind of highlighting what's going on in Lubbock. And I truly do believe the vintage community is an interesting and unique thing going on here. If you're a part of it, and it's really simple. If you live in Lubbock and you're like, where's it at? Follow us, man. I'm telling you, we promote it. It's all out there. If you just go look for it, you'll find it. There's things to do here. It's a ton of fun. You can find a lot of cool shit. Actually, they find the cool shit for you. All you gotta do is buy it. So be sure and follow these guys and check them out, and check out their documentary when it comes out, because I believe it's not out yet, but it will be very soon, I think. So I hope you guys enjoy this one, and I hope you follow us. Follow Swagadelic. He helped out today. Follow us on all social media platforms, The Snake Pit. And you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's a free and easy way to support us. We're also on Patreon, patreon.com/snakepitstudios. And you can buy my merch, The Snake Pit, rattlesnakeroy.com. And this Thursday we will, because this is Sunday the 14th. This Thursday, the 18th, we will be recording episode 200. So if you want to be a part of that, please hit me up and we can figure things out. Other than that, hope you guys enjoy, and thank you so much. And back at the Snake Pit, people. Sorry if it's getting confusing, but let me see that Kleenex bottle right as fuck.
It's a problem.
Can you introduce yourself? Let us know who we're here with, please.
My name is Dean Contreras. I'm the owner of Cinema 3 Studios.
My name's Eli Jenkins. I'm Dean's partner with Cinema 3.
Cinema 3 Studios.
Yep.
Can you tell me a little bit about that, man? What is this?
So it's a studio that I've kind of been cooking up for, since I've been in high school, kind of into the audio video thing for the longest time. Had this really badass professor, Mr. Sanchez. Always got to shout him out. Kind of got me to go to college and stuff like that. Had this idea of like opening a studio, but keeping it more artistic, because a lot of people like working on stuff and they're like, oh yeah, do it for the money, do it because it's part of the wave right now. But I think showcasing the reality of situations in an artistic way, I think that needs to be done a little bit more. So with this project that we're working on currently, we're trying to do that. But the Cinema 3, the name comes from an old theater from Eagle Pass. It's just called Cinema 3 because they used to have 3 movie screens. That's really it.
Dang. So yeah, I heard about you from Izzy Money Sniper. Izzy, I guess, Money Vintage.
Yeah.
And is this the project you're talking about?
Yeah, so the project we're working on, sorry to cut you off. The project we're working on is about vintage clothing. It's about showcasing the Lubbock community specifically because it's kind of popping up now, like in a really big wave. A lot more pop-up events, a lot more vendors are coming out, a lot more online sellers, but here in Lubbock. So we're trying to showcase, how it's growing and kind of like the uniqueness of everybody. So Eli can talk about it a little bit because he's the one that actually came up with the idea.
Right, yeah. I want to say like 2 years ago is when I first came up with the concept. I had a friend whose name is Cash Starkey. He has a vintage store. He mostly sells off of Instagram, but he was very deep into vintage, deep with all the guys who were also into vintage here in Lubbock. And I thought it was initially very interesting just to see that like some of the stuff you have in your closet right now might be worth $20, $40, $60, maybe $2,000. And you just have to be in the know to know that.
Yeah, who do you know?
Cash Starkey.
What's his place called?
I think it's called Cash Money Vintage.
Oh, okay, cool. So you've been you guys aren't from here, but y'all live here now?
Yeah, so I'm not from Lubbock. I have family that moved out here to go to tech. They moved out here like 20 years ago. They're a lot older than I am. I came out here because they are here, so I was like, all right, get to live rent free for a little bit. From Eagle Pass, small border town. It's like the same population as the Texas Tech campus, so it's about like 30 to 50,000. It's a small town in the sense that like we don't get a lot of like new things. Like the biggest thing we have is the mall, the casino that's on the outskirts of town, a bowling alley, the movie theater. There's nothing really out there.
There's
so
a casino?
There's a casino, the Kikipu Casino, the Lucky Eagle Casino. It's on the outskirts of town, so it's not really in town, but I mean, most of the people want to work there because they pay good. A lot of people visit, a lot of tourism from that. People on their way to Mexico or out of Mexico, they stop by.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So you guys are kind of new to local. So your friend, he got you into this
Just
this business, because I've noticed it too. Like I'm like, what the hell? It just all of a sudden popped up out of nowhere. Like I'm like, what the fuck? Everybody has a podcast too. I know that. Everybody has a fucking vintage store. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
That's
damn.
pretty
It was
cool.
just cool. It's really cool, actually. I'm glad people are doing it. But I'm like, where the fuck is the supply coming from? Like,
When he mentioned it, he was like, "Oh, I kind of want to do this thing about vintage clothing." I was like, "Victoria era dresses?" Or like, "What the fuck are you talking about, dude?" Like, I thought he was talking about like legitimate, like ancient history fucking
Yeah.
clothing. Like,
For people who don't know, we're talking about like old Harley Davidson shirts, NASCAR shirts, like Michael Jordan sports shirts, Mike Tyson, anything that comes from 70s, 80s, 90s, lots of graphic tees, some
Yeah.
like vintage pants, shoes.
yeah,
stuff
we've had a few people on here that have
Talked about it.
stores.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool.
yeah, because for Izzy, I kind of just like the way we started the project. We were gonna do cash, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna start asking people on Instagram. Like, fuck it. What's the worst thing that can happen, right? They're gonna say like, no, I'm good. We went to Next Gen right there on university, and I just messaged Izzy, and I was like, hey, dude, like we're doing this project. Would you be interested? He's like, yeah, let's talk about it. We went to Starbucks. We talked about it. And that's when he mentioned you guys, and that was one of the things that we kind of like want to hyper focus on in this project is that everyone kind of like supports everybody.
Oh yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, dude, you should check out this person, talk to this person. Like everyone's like, hey, dude, this shit's pretty badass. Come check it out. So it's been pretty welcoming.
It is. I almost like am looking for a reason. Like I'm like, these people are just too damn friendly. Like everybody's out for like, I'm like, this something's going on, but no, everybody's out for like looking out for each other, and I like that. I think that's what I like about this community. Like I never feel like it's cutthroat.
Well,
You know?
I would say that not everybody's looking out for each other, but this one. Okay, so what Roy has done, in my opinion, is kind of linked up a bunch of different people. So everybody within that vibe,
Yeah.
is that everybody's kind of catching the same wave in terms of helping each other out, but not everybody is that way.
Yeah, I guess.
So-
I mean, I understand that too.
But it's cool though, just to see how the network just keeps growing and expanding.
It's pretty crazy.
Oh yeah, it's definitely the same within the vintage community. Because one of the guys we interviewed, his name is Kevin. He runs All Luck Vintage, I think.
Yeah.
And like he kind of got most of the people that we interviewed started in vintage, even just telling them where to get the clothes, how to run their business.
Dude, that guy's got some good shit.
Yes.
Oh yeah, dude. His $5 bin, like
That's what he's known for. It's the legendary $5 bin from Kevin, where you can find $20, $30 shirts. He doesn't care. He knows that he's losing money, but
What's
he
his
does it
name?
all for the love of the game.
All look.
all look vintage. Yeah, the other vendors, I mean, they go and they like
Oh shit!
go
Okay,
through his
sorry.
$5 bin because I mean it's solid stuff. When we were working on that pop-up event for Casp, we were like, dude,
It's that top one right there.
we gotta like leave because if not, I'm gonna start going through these bins myself, dude. Like we were like there for business, but I'm like, man, I'm gonna pop up my wallet real quick. But
Yeah, dude, that was one of the weird things. I thought it was weird was when I would see one guy from one store come shop at the one and buy it and then sell it on his. Like I'm like, what in the hell is going on? I don't know.
It makes me so nostalgic looking at this stuff
Is this shit you wore?
Yeah, when I in the '90s, dude,
Yeah.
this is all like '90s stuff. I had this cricket shirt right here, the Lubbock Crickets.
Oh, dude, I didn't even realize that.
I love vintage clothes.
Have you ever checked any of these people out?
I haven't. This
No?
is all new to me. I've been seeing a lot of the suggestions on Instagram, and I've been seeing more and more of it.
It's pretty much a weekly thing now. Like there's a week, like almost every weekend, there's a pop up.
A new one?
Well, no, just like a pop up show where these people go and sell their stuff, man.
Okay, and so you're telling me that a lot or most of this inventory, all of it, is coming from people's closets?
That's what I was wondering.
They're not just printing.
so
Are you guys capturing this? Like where they get it?
So that's what we're planning to do next. Most people go to like the pound store, the bins, where it's a Goodwill where they sell stuff by the pound. Like not trade secrets, but like, there's garage sales, estate sales, stuff like that. There's spots that you wouldn't think.
Yeah, they won't even tell me. I'm like, just tell me. I won't tell nobody.
Yeah,
Tell
it's just
me.
like there's so much out there that you wouldn't think. Like you could just go to your dad's friend and be like, hey, can I go through your closet? Like I'll give you $5 a shirt. And I mean, they lived through that era, right? Like same thing. My dad grew up. He was like 18, like 89, listened to NWA, LL Cool J, all that shit. He was like a skater and shit. So like all his old clothes, and he's from Michigan, so he has a bunch of old sports. Like people just have that in their closet, and it's part of their history. But there's a lot of times where people don't really cycle through, or they don't really care anymore. So I mean, if you just ask, you can find some good stuff, or estate sales or garage sales. So, I mean, people, you find them in the places you don't think you'd find them in.
Yeah, you guys are taking an interesting approach because, we've had, we did one with Izzy, but that one didn't work out. Unfortunately, we've done one with a few other people that I like, and that I know. Like, sorry if people want to come on that I haven't. I just don't know you. My bad. But yeah, you guys are like capturing it from the outside. So,
Yeah.
do you ever have first? Let me ask you this: do you have any interest in doing that, or you just want to film it?
So personally, I had a friend that did it in San Antonio. His name was Cal Vintage, and I always see his shit. Like, everything's always fucking badass. Like, all the clothes. I've never seen a shirt from vintage like vendors that I'm like, everything's always pretty badass. And I'm like, I wonder how much money he makes from it. I always thought of like, that'd probably be an easy like cash grab, right? But I've never really like truly like looked into it or like appreciated it. So I've always been just like an outsider to it. But what about you?
I mean, it's kind of the same way. Personally, like, most of my closet is made up of vintage clothes, but I've always been a buyer. I've never
You're just
tried
a
to sell
buyer?
it. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I was wondering. 'Cause you guys are you guys talking to Philip Lively?
Yeah, we are
He-
probably gonna set up an interview later this month.
So yeah, so what do you do? You go and talk. You like do something like this almost.
So what I do, because I don't know, I'm the type of guy where it's like, all right, we're adults, we're just gonna fucking talk it out type thing. So
Yeah.
whenever I talk to people, I'm like, hey, this is the idea we have. This is what we have so far. Are you interested in participating? Would you like a meeting beforehand, or would you like to schedule an interview? So usually people want to meet up before because, like, if someone's like, hey, I want to interview you, it's like, all right, what the fuck are we doing, right? So I kind of tell them the vision. I tell them what we have, who we've talked to, for some credibility, of course, because if not, it's just some like Joe Schmo off the fucking street.
Man, I've been trying to build my credibility. I know. It's hard.
So I do that. I'm like, hey, this is what we have. Like, you interested? We've had a couple no's. We have people who are too busy, people who don't want to, stuff like that. But I mean, most of the time, it's just you kind of shotgun blast. You try to hit as much as you can.
And I don't know if I asked. It's a documentary, right?
So it's a documentary. Yeah, it's I guess we won't define it yet because we're still editing it and we're making a lot of changes due to like some of the things that are happening. But yeah, it's gonna be a documentary. It's gonna be a little bit more, like I said, on the artistic side, more than just like a traditional like hard cut documentary, because not only are we showcasing the community as a whole, like what it is, we're also focusing on people, and we want to respect their passion, that they respect the vintage. So it's like we want to just make everything badass, pretty much.
Hell yeah. Are the questions that you ask them, are they kind of the same for each person, or do you change them up a little bit?
I mean, there's like a list that we have, and like some questions, of course, you got to ask everybody, but we try to like highlight what makes each vintage shop individual. So we'll change up the list every now and then, just as we see fit.
Is this the first documentary you guys create?
Together, yes.
I think
Together?
this is the first anything we make together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, how did you guys link up? How'd that happen?
That's pretty funny. We intern at this church. The Grace Message,
Yeah,
or the
Grace
Grace
Church.
Message is the radio show. The Grace Church is the church.
Shout out to the Grace Church.
You go there?
No,
Shout out to church.
maybe I will.
Shout out to JC.
Yeah, and then we so the very first time I saw him, it was at the old studio, right?
Yeah.
And I went, and like Tech sends emails to all their like media students. They're like, hey, there's a job opportunity in Dallas, Austin, Ohio. I was gonna say Idaho, like shit like that, right? And there was this one for a church, but it was $15 an hour, and I was like, fuck yeah, right? Like $15 an hour is not bad. So I go and I meet with him, and the first time I met him, he was wearing like the fucking tightest shorts in the world. And like he's tall, he's way fucking taller than me, so he's like really tall, tight shorts, and I was just
He's
like,
wearing them hoochie shorts. That's the style now.
You know,
For real.
They're probably vintage hoochie shorts too.
he's right.
they might have been, they really might have been. I remember seeing them, I was just like, man, who are these fucking people, too? But we run this. We used to actually end it just this past Sunday. This radio show for like a satellite radio show, and then the church service. And we never really worked side by side other than the Sundays because there's multiple cameras and a switcherboard. But we kind of never really talked. And then what did we like party first?
I mean, like, I can't even remember, honestly. I'm sure you came to like a couple of my parties, or like I came to yours. But eventually we just kind of figured out we had like the same goal in mind, which was like we wanted to get into production in some way.
Yeah, because so far, like everyone, I don't know, not to shit talk the entire fucking college of media and communication, but every fucking student I meet, they're fucking sad, dude. They're like, oh, my dad wants me to go to college. I'm like, oh, so like, what do you want to do? They're like, I don't know. I'm just going to fucking study. It's like, holy shit. So you're spending thousands of dollars to do something you don't want. Or it's like, oh, I'm a fucking photographer. They have 2 fucking photos on Instagram from like the past 5 years.
Hey, speak it, man. Let them know.
And I'm like, dude, it makes me like, I'm physically having to restrain myself from like getting mad at them. Cause I'm like, dude, all this opportunity that I don't have, all this money.
You
like,
think a lot of that is just they're not truly artists deep down inside? They just picked something.
I think to coincide with that, like they don't know who they are.
Right.
Like they might be an artist, but like they don't know how to be themselves when doing it. Like
And then how
maybe
to express it.
yeah, because college isn't for everybody, but it's like, well, you don't have to do it to figure it out. You can just try to figure it out first before you fucking do everything else. I don't know. It fucking personally irks me. The fuck.
That's pretty wild because I think about that sometimes. It took me like 24 years to figure out who I was. It wasn't until recently that I was like, this is who I am. So, I mean,
Oh yeah.
you know, but I know a lot of those people too that they don't do anything to figure out who they are. They just sit there and cry. And I can't handle that shit either. I'm like,
Oh,
God,
yeah,
shut up.
Yeah, it's a journey, man. You're constantly
I get that.
becoming.
I get that,
You
but
aren't what you are. You're becoming. You know what I mean? And
Mr.
I got a good question for you
Mr.
guys.
Sensei.
What's y'all's motivation? Is there like a particular goal in mind? Film festivals, things like that?
For the documentary itself, I think initially we wanted to submit that to a film fest. We don't know which one yet.
Oh,
We're
what's
gonna
it
have to
called?
start looking at like all the criteria and stuff.
Panhandle Fest, I think, or something. Our friend Bradley, the guy he did his into that. That's right there at the Luca.
Yeah.
You should do that one.
Because I think we want to like, it's gonna sound too like courageous, but I think we want to dominate this local community first with it, and
Like
then
that.
we kind of
There you
wanted
go,
to.
buddy. Me too.
Hell yeah. And then we wanted to like go back to our hometowns and like, hey, dude, this is the shit that we make. Like, there's fucking talent wherever you live. Because
Yeah, absolutely.
personally, like, my personal goal is to like, and I got this shout out Mr. Sanchez. He's such a fucking huge influence. Like, I was talking to him the other day about this project because he's the next level thinker.
This
Like,
is a professor.
no, this is a teacher from high school.
Okay.
But he's like a professor of fucking life, dude. Like,
And where does he teach?
he teaches in Eagle Pass High School.
Shout out to him.
Hope he's listening.
Send him this link.
And like the way I can describe the way he thinks is like, you know, sometimes you have your conscious, what you're doing right now. And then when you're thinking like, oh, I'm going to do this when I get home. He thinks fucking multiple things at the same time. Like we were talking about like this story when I was in San Antonio and he's like, oh, for your project, you should do this. He just interjects with a fucking idea. And I was like, yo, where the fuck did that come from? But it's such a fucking valuable idea. He's such a huge influence. But from him, my personal goal is to kind of create like a community of people who can like rely on each other and make each other better. Because the thing is that, like I said, when I go and I see those people, it makes me sad. But there's people that I graduated with in high school that we get it. Like we resonate at the same level.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, I want that with everybody.
It takes a team.
It takes a fucking team and it takes a figure like Mr. Sanchez to make that team. Like I want to be that guy.
Right.
Which I'm far from it, but I want to make everyone just be at the same level. Like everyone just fucking understands. Like you don't even to like, oh, should I do this? Should I? No, you get it. Like that's the only way I can describe it. Is like you just get it.
Yeah. He's saying people who share similar vision artistically.
Yeah, like vision and for life though, because
for
it's
life, yeah.
it's like when you see like an artistic project, you're like, you should do this, you should do that. But there's some things for life too that translate so well. It's like, man, you just know like that's what life is.
Gotcha.
And it translates to your career. And there's just, I don't know. It's really hard to describe. It's just like,
I think I get what you're saying.
yeah.
Yeah, people, there's different types of people. There's people who will sit here and have a conversation about what they don't like and tell you what they hate. It's like, tell me what you love.
I'm always doing that. I need to work on it. Sorry.
My bad, I wasn't calling you out.
No, I'm
if the
calling
shoe
myself
fits,
out.
Cinderella.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm saying. You're right. We need to speak more love into the world.
I love I'm starting to try to surround myself around more creative people who aren't talking about other people who are talking about ideas. You know what I mean? People who
Yeah,
are trying to make things
important.
happen.
That's super important.
You build a dynamic energy.
You guys got other people helping y'all, or is it just kind of y'all two?
I mean,
I guess for the most part, it's mostly just us. Dean's got a couple of friends that he's commissioned to do some art, made our
hell
logo.
yeah. Shout out
stuff like
Victor
that.
DeLuna. He worked on our logo. He's still working on our intro animation and our other logo.
Does he have an IG I can look up real
Yeah.
quick?
Just Blargs art. BLARG art.
But yeah, we try to keep it pretty centralized, handle it ourselves.
What have been some of the like the more
Did I miss
Obviously-
a letter
Blog. I think it's Blargs with an S. Man,
blars?
he needs to fucking work on his own branding, dude. He needs to work on his Instagram.
there?
Fucking tell him all the time. I'm like, hey, do you have like a logo for yourself? He's like, kind of.
No, I don't know. I don't see him.
Nah.
BLARS.
B
Oh,
A R G BLARGS. Blargs. It's like some shit from Super Mario, dude. I don't fucking know.
Okay, well, I was trying to shout him out.
We're gonna cut this part out.
Yeah, no.
We're back.
No, Vic, no,
My bad.
I need to call him out because he needs to work on his own shit, dude.
Oh, okay,
and he
sorry.
needs to work on my shit too that I've been fucking asking him for. I had a
There
logo
you go.
commission from him for a little shop that I do online, like it's on eBay. Fucking took 2 years.
Oh, wow.
And
What
then
the fuck?
and then the logo for our studio took like 2 weeks. So I mean, he needs.
He's like me. He's a part-time artist. It's a hobby.
Dude, relying on other people is it's scary, man.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, and this is the thing when he said like, oh yeah, that I have like friends like Mr. Sanchez. I call them my advisors because you talk to them, you get their insight on projects and stuff. But like on these projects specifically, it's just us two, pretty much.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. I like that. What are some things that have happened that are been kind of difficult about this project? What'd you say?
Oh man, you want to get into it?
So I don't know, like no names, right? But
Oh no, yeah, no
yeah,
names.
no names. But like, I don't know if people don't know how to fucking answer their phone calls or text messages. But like, getting in contact with people is actually really difficult.
Yeah.
And doing it off of my personal Instagram, sometimes it feels weird. And I get it like, oh, who's this fucking scam bot type shit, right? But it's like, I don't know, like you don't even open it, or it's like, oh, maybe you don't even get it. But it's like, I don't know, there's a lot of difficulties.
Communication. Breakdowns in communication.
Not even breakdowns,
No
not even
effort.
not even a start in it. Like it's like
Okay.
I send my stuff and it's not even seen for like a fuckload of time. I'm like, all right, dude, like I don't know you, and if you hate me already, then hey, I'm sorry.
You need to go to their last post and go comment on it. Something.
He was like, dude,
They see that shit.
he's like, just go to a pop up and like walk up to them. And I was like,
That's
"Nah,
one way to do it.
that's one way to do it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
And are you speaking in terms of like the actual people you're trying to film?
Yeah. So some of the people we just had a hard time contacting with them. Sometimes they just take a while, and I get it, dude. Fucking life takes control of what you want to do. If you want to work on art, life is gonna say fuck you, right? But it's been pretty hard sometimes. Some people are like, oh
The war
no,
of art.
like delays, got to reschedule, too busy, where they just cancel, or like, oh, I don't want to do it, and it's like,
That's weird to me. I get people you do what you want, but like, why wouldn't you want to do this?
Exactly. I
This
mean,
is
like
weird.
we're only helping them out
Yeah.
in a sense because it's all branding. But as a documentary worker, it's rough to see like there's the vision that you see and the vision you capture, and sometimes those two don't really coincide.
Oh, yeah.
So it's hard to kind of work around that.
How many people have you guys interviewed? What'd you
so
say?
we've officially like long form interviewed. We've only done one. We've done a couple short interviews at a couple pop-up events. We were gonna do one with Izzy, but we had to reschedule, and then we have one more with Philip from Lively, and
I think Izzy should be sometime in the near future.
in the near future, same thing with Lively, and then
That's where I get all my shirts from.
Izzy Money Vintage.
Yeah, that's where I
Izzy
get all
Money,
my
yeah,
all my shirts.
Let's check them out.
his hats, dude, his collection of fucking hats. When we were shooting B-roll of his stuff, we were just those hats, dude. Fucking A, dude.
You know my American flag shirt?
Uh-huh.
That's right. I get it from him. He already like tells me, "You want this?"
Yeah.
He gave me a Beagle shirt that was dead stock from like '89. I'm so happy. That's one of my favorite shirts of all time.
It was crazy, that Tupac shirt, the one in the middle, up a little bit. That one, that was like one of his prize shirts. He won from like a raffle. He was telling his whole story about it, and we were able to get that in his interview, one of his little short interview. And then the other day he posted, he's like, "Oh, just sold," and I was like, "Dude, that made me proud of it because it was like we captured it before it went away."
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
I was
I
like-
wonder how much he made off that one.
Yeah, I think you said it was like 1,000.
He said he goes upwards of 1,000,
Yeah.
but it's like, dude, that's
for that one.
just one shirt.
Yeah, that's a shirt that could be sitting.
Well,
in
I knew.
anyone's
I think
closet.
that kind of started like this whole era of people liking like rap tees and shit. I think it was that one.
You think so?
Like that style of shirt from like the '90s. Like you seen all these like famous people wearing like Selena or Tupac.
There's a lot going on in that photo too. He's got the whole planet back here.
I think I used to have a Tupac shirt. I sold that
Man,
motherfucker. Damn.
I'm not gonna lie. Having the shirts on the floor makes me fucking cringe. All these vendors, they put their shirts on the floor and they
I
take a
didn't even
picture.
realize that.
And it's like,
The
dude,
asphalt.
it could just fucking catch a rock and rip right there. Like it fucking.
That's
I
in
don't know,
great
You
shape.
get some gum. Somebody spit out some gum, and then the hot day it melts. Throw it on
right on
there.
the shirt, right in the middle.
Damn it, Izzy. I thought you were better than this. No, I'm just kidding, buddy.
Dude, there's so many people that do that. I'm like, yo, man, just throw it on your bed, dude. I don't care if your bed's not made. Just fucking preserve
I like this
it.
one right here.
Yeah, he tried to sell that one to me, and I was like, dude, I'm not spending that much money on a shirt. I'm sorry.
How much was the price? Or you can't say.
It was
That's
like $200. I was like, I'm just not gonna.
No,
You're like,
dude.
but I'm open to sponsorships.
Yeah, free shirts, dude. We kind of wanted to do that with people. Like, hey, dude, when we do our premiere and stuff like that, like
That is a sick
I can
shirt.
wear an outfit of your clothes, and when I introduce myself, I can be like, hey, if you love my outfit, it's from this vendor, check them out, type thing.
I wish you guys would do that with me. I do this shit once a week, so hit me
Yeah.
up, motherfuckers. No, I'm just kidding. I'll shout them out though.
Yeah.
So if they want me to.
So yeah, we had a lot of
This tech cap is fire. My bad, go.
Oh no, yeah, a lot of
Dude,
those.
he's got good shit, man. He's. I think he's my favorite one. Not just because he's my friend, but he's my favorite, and his prices are reasonable.
Yeah, that's one of the things too, that it's like they're making money, but they know it's more than just the money that they're making. There's like a part of that culture. They're like, all right, dude, I know you appreciate the fuck out of this design, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna give it to you.
Dude, I try to stay like in the middle, especially doing this. But like, I gotta be honest, like I know the prices they pay for these shirts, and I'm like, God damn it, what? Can you not cut me a fucking deal? Like I know what you paid for that goddamn shirt. Don't be charging me fucking $300.
30 cents on the pound.
That's
dude.
just me speaking personally. Now I'm back to the snake pit. So no, but it's cool. I get it. It's a hustle. You gotta. I respect it because our friend actually just did this season 3. Shout out to him, Chris. He quit his job and went all in. He's like,
Oh, yeah.
this is my life, and I'm like, I respect that. That's a hard choice.
That's kind of like the story. Like I said, everyone has their own unique story, but the passion in it, everyone just fucking has it, and we just want to capture that because it's just so unique. I've never seen anyone like this because, like the interview with Dakota, she was kind of mentioning that, like, oh yeah, when multiple vendors are at the bins and stuff like that, the Goodwills, there's times where like you're competitive and you grab stuff out of people's hands or you push a little bit, shove, and then you're back to being friends. But it's like I've never really met anyone who, that would want to like push you for fucking like, I don't know, like a video game. Like I know GameStop used to get pretty rowdy and shit, but it's like,
Hell yeah.
I don't know, dude. I've never really like seen that much passion over a fucking 30-cent shirt at fucking Goodwill.
Dude, you've seen those crazy videos, haven't you? Where they're like fighting and shit.
Man, like Black Friday, like back in Eagle Pass, Black Friday, like the workers would push out like the pallet and people would go and they grab the shit and they would throw it just to fucking cross the store just so people could grab it. And it's like, dude, it's a fucking Blu-ray version of The Wizard of Oz, dude. No one wants that.
People are crazy, dude.
Yeah. It's weird how there's these little niches and like different people kind of flock to certain things. Like there's just certain things that are appealing. You know, I've always liked older things. I've always liked antique stores and vintage clothes. But I don't know if I would risk my life for it.
Dude, yeah, you need to go out to these things. They have them. A lot of them.
I don't know if I'm down to buy a $200 t-shirt.
No, but obviously you could. That was.
I'd rather go to Goodwill and just find it.
Yeah. Or I'd get boxing lessons from Eli and be like, hey, dude, back me up when I go to the fucking Goodwill.
No, but that's a good thing. Like there are shirts that, like, I understand Israel has to sell at that price because that's just the way it goes. But he sells really, like, $30 for a shirt, a really cool shirt.
Oh, yeah?
30 for 2, maybe $20 for a shirt. He's a really good. It's hard for me not to speak my
personal opinion.
yes.
Yeah,
on
'cause I
right
mean,
now because I have
think-
one on this thing.
I
but-
think respectively, all of them have $5 bins. Like they still try to provide a
Yeah.
fucking deal for everybody. And it's like how we said with Kevin, it's like he just puts shit that he's like, I know people are gonna grab something that they like. They're gonna leave satisfied, even if they don't spend $40 or they only spend $5. They're gonna leave with something they want.
Yeah, let me ask you this: in the short little interviews you've done and what you've gathered, how are they unique, or are they kind of the same? These people.
That's a good question.
I guess in some ways they're kind of the same. I mean, most of them are getting their clothes from most of the same spots. A lot of them have the same modality. No one really has an in-person store. Most of it's just off of Instagram. But some people really try to focus on like specific niches within vintage. Like I think, was it Dakota or one of her friends?
Who's Dakota?
Dakota, I forgot her last name. I don't even think she told it to me. She's from our House of Thrift.
That's who I thought.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about.
And it was her and then some other girls that hadn't gone back to us, but they do more of like the 70s women vintage. So like one that I know pretty well is the Forgotten Youth. Her name is Ali. She has more like women's vintage, but some of her pieces, I'm like, dude, I'd fucking rock that, dude. Like I want to be a girl so I could fucking wear that shit right now.
Yeah, we did one with fuck.
You can wear whatever you want these days, by the way.
I don't know. With this body frame, I don't know.
God damn it. KJ, I'm sorry what her name is, but she was telling us about like the women's there's not really a market for women in the vintage. Like girls really couldn't get, now they are, but like that was one I was like, that's where you can separate yourself.
Oh yeah, there's so many options. And like when you say vintage, most people think of like the graphic tees, but there's like Dakota, like she really likes, I forgot the type of brand, I'm sorry, or the type of pants. It's just like, let's just say for example, like a bell bottom, right? There's like these old pants from the 70s that her mom used to wear that she just really fucking loves. So she tries to buy them as much as she can. And it's like, dude, it's not that she specializes in that, but she has that knowledge of that specific one. Not everyone does. Everyone can kind of like hyper focus on something.
Yeah, I think vintage for girls, like nothing is made specifically for them, right? Because like the style that comes with vintage is just like wearing oversized tees. And I guess like most of that's kind of like men's clothing anyways. But I think she's definitely got stuff that's kind of more geared towards girls.
Yeah, one of my favorite things to ask people is like, what makes it vintage? What year? Because it changes, right? Some people say this year, some people that. To me, like 90s is vintage, but I guess 2000s is kind of making its way.
I know Dakota, she caps it off, I think like at 2005 or something. She has like an actual cutoff year where she's like, I don't care anything.
1999, in my opinion.
That's what I would think too. But
yeah, I think
2005 still was a long time ago.
Yeah, that's what, 17 years ago?
Yeah.
Damn, I'm getting old. How old are you guys?
I'm 20.
20?
I'm 22, about to be 23.
Hell yeah.
When you turn 23?
November. I mean, it's not super
What day,
close.
November?
November 8th. It's election day, so.
November 10th.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Holy
I
shit.
thought you were going to say the 10th. That would have been cool.
Have y'all done podcasts before?
No.
This is y'all's first time?
So this is my
really
first time outside of high school. We used to do this shit. We would watch like Tom and Jerry, and then we'd have a podcast about it. And we would do that just to get out of class.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we used to do, man, AV for us was like, it wasn't even a fucking class. It was like a lifestyle. It was kind of weird. Like the way he taught it that we were on it together, and we were trying to make something together. We weren't like trying to get a grade. So like when we approached these things, it was like, we just had like a different mindset. So it's like, yeah, we're going to sit down and watch Tom and Jerry together. And then we made a podcast, and that was a grade. But we had so much fun so much fun doing it, skipping lunch or skipping classes. Like it was just like, dude, we're not even in high school. We're just kind of like doing our own shit right now.
Yeah. So what would you talk about when you would watch Tom and Jerry? Just like the different ways that Jerry kills Tom or fucks him up. He doesn't really kill him.
I think like the Tom scream count or something.
Oh yeah, those fucking screams are iconic, dude. First of all, but I think one of the things we did talk about a bit was how they use music as sound effects, like instruments and stuff like that. They didn't really use like Foley or anything like that, so that was pretty unique. I remember we talked about that a lot because one of the guys that was there, he was like in band and he like knew a lot about music theory, and he was like, dude, like that's some high tech shit. Like, yeah, it's a simple note or chord or whatever, but it's like in conjunction with the animation, it's fucking high tier. And it's like, well, yeah, dude,
He was ahead of his time.
it's ahead of its time. And of course, there's short films that won multiple awards in animation. Like Tom and Jerry, dude. Like, I don't know, dude. I've gone an hour for that.
Can you look up when that came out?
Tom and Jerry. Anybody want to take a guess?
1926.
What? That long?
It's been like over 99.
50.
50? What? No.
Oh, 40. Created in 1940. Damn. Is it true that they like die at the end? Like they kill themselves
No.
on the railroads?
Oh shit! I think I know.
You know
Like
what
the
I'm-
last episode they did before they like rebooted it. I think Tom like sat on a rail track or something.
well,
like, for
you
a train
I
to
think,
kill him.
yeah, the little rat. What's his name, Jerry?
Yeah.
I don't know which one's which, but he got his girlfriend left him, and
Yeah, I
Tom's all
remember.
fucking depressed, and they just sit on the tracks, and you just hear the train coming, and it's like led to believe they just killed themselves. I don't know if that's true or
hardcore.
not. Like, did y'all? Do you know?
I don't know.
That's what I've heard at
Yeah,
least, but
fuck.
I don't know.
I'm not a historian of it yet.
I used to love that shit.
What was your favorite cartoon growing up, Roy?
I don't know. Scooby Doo. It's still my favorite. I still watch it. It's on HBO Max now. Not gonna lie, I've been into that lately.
HBO Max?
No,
Scooby-Doo?
Scooby Doo. Where are
specifically.
you? The first one. It's like
The OG one.
I can't stop watching it.
Did you ever watch the live action movies?
Yeah, and I actually like them.
Yeah, they're
Not gonna
pretty
lie.
good.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
There's
guys.
so many things that people fucking hate on that I watched as a kid. I'm like, dude, you're disrespecting me right now. Not this movie. You're disrespecting me.
What's your favorite movie? If you had to pick one animated.
Animated favorite movie? Oh shit. I remember I liked it as a kid because the story around it, and it was pretty cool. It's like really old, not old. The Owls of Gahu or something. It was like this owls.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I saw it like in fucking second grade, but I remember my dad pulled me out of school just so we could go fucking watch it.
It was in the theater.
It was in the theater. Yeah.
I never heard of that one. What about you? Do you have one, Eli?
Shit. I don't know. I mean, like, I'd probably say maybe Bambi.
Bambi.
I think, and
Bambi-
it's just
Bambi
for some reason
fucked
it's
me
like
up, dude.
aesthetically pleasing and also like what?
I don't know. I'm not a Disney guy, so I can't like.
Dude,
I'm not like a
Bambi.
huge Disney guy.
Oh no,
either,
yeah,
but it's like
but fucking Bambi. Dude.
being raised out in the country where I was. It was
Yeah.
something I resonated with.
Yeah,
It
for
was-
sure.
Oh, okay, I want to change my answer
How Dickens.
because I just remembered like Finding Nemo and like
Finding
all those
Nemo.
old movies, those Pixar ones.
Okay.
Yep.
First Toy Story came out before I was born, but
Uh-huh.
high tier.
I'll never forget the first time I watched Bambi because, I was loving it too. And then his mom got killed and I was just like fucking crying, dude.
Yeah, it's actually kind of sad when you think about it.
Yeah. I mean, it was hardcore.
It is.
Bambi's hardcore.
When's the first time that you guys seen death in a movie? Like in a movie?
I don't even know.
Like one that you're like, oh shit.
I gotta think about that one.
I was watching Full Metal Jacket when I was probably like 4 or 5.
Holy shit.
All the Van Damme movies. Like I grew up with no guidance. I was watching all kinds of crazy shit.
Holy shit.
Have you seen Predator?
Never seen Predator.
Damn, dude. I'm about to watch Prey. I think
I was gonna say I saw it last night. It
Did you like it?
was pretty solid.
I'm gonna watch it.
I think
I'm so excited.
the common trope that like everyone always makes fun of is like, oh, they're speaking English in 1729. Like these natives are speaking English perfectly.
I heard that they were doing it in their in native the Comanche language, whatever they speak.
maybe like 25% of it is in their language. Like
Oh.
it's kind of like when people are speaking, they throw like one word in Spanish. It's like that. It's not really fully in their language. There's a lot of French in it too.
Yeah, the Plainsmen. They were some French people.
This is the one you're talking about here, Roy?
Hell yeah.
And it's in theater?
Hulu.
Hulu only.
Hulu. Yeah, I got that. Looks pretty good, but I need to watch Predator first.
The first one.
I don't know. What do I need to do? Just watch
You should watch Predator.
You should.
It's just
Well,
badass to begin
There's
with.
more than one.
that one connects with Predator 2 more than the first one.
So watch both
I just
of them.
think Predator is one of the best movies of all time. So
I'll check it out.
you should fucking check it out.
Is it about extraterrestrials?
It's about Predator, the dude up there.
Oh, is he like an alien or what is
Yeah, there's a weird timeline with it. Like some say they come down to like hunt us because just for fun. They like to come down and hunt us just for fun and see like if they're warriors,
Uh-huh.
or they take you to their planet and they hunt you. It's a whole fucking franchise of shit.
Yeah,
sounds
I
cool.
think this is just like an anthology film. Like it doesn't really connect with any there is no major storyline in Predator. They're all kind of like just single films. Like,
Cool.
but they're fucking badass.
Any other ideas that you guys have for future projects?
I think our next documentary, we were thinking about going to a place called De Novo Therapy.
Mhm.
There's a guy named Ben who's kind of started a psychedelic wave here in Lubbock.
Ooh.
What he does, or what he has done so far, is pioneered
Ketamine?
here in Lubbock for CAP therapy, ketamine assisted psychotherapy.
Excellent.
And I mean that's a huge milestone in his book. But even I think next for them is trying to get MDMA.
Who's this guy?
legalized. His name's Ben.
Ben?
Works
Can you
at,
get me in contact with him? I want to do a podcast with that motherfucker.
I think
Or that
he'd be
dude,
down.
sorry. Yeah. Yeah, dude, that'd be cool.
Yeah, but I guess MDMA is next. They're just trying to explore all the psychedelics
Hey,
and
sign
how they
me
can
up.
be used.
Mr. Swagadelic here, let me ask you guys this. Why is this like sudden wave of like legalities? Like, why are they suddenly making it legal?
Because
What'd you say?
we are in the midst of what's known as a psychedelic renaissance. So all the research was shut down like 50 years ago. Just completely shut down whenever I think it was Eisenhower or no, it was Reagan declared the war on drugs, all that shit.
Mhm.
And then, Timothy Leary, psychedelics got a real bad rap. But when you look at the data, it was all very obvious. It was really obvious that it was therapeutic. It's medicine. It was helping people. The success rate with alcoholism was like 80%
Oh, Jesus.
with LSD. Yeah.
The big phenomenon that they discovered with almost all psychedelics is they promote neurogenesis, which is the connection of new neurons in the brain, which is something that nothing else in the world does.
So
That's
you
the
can
only
like
substance.
change.
Yeah, exactly.
Change
Because
the
that
way
dude
you
on
think.
Rogan,
Grow brain cells.
that dude, what's his name, Stamets?
Neurogenesis.
He fucking stopped his,
Paul Stamets.
he stopped his stuttering when he did mushrooms,
Yeah.
like shit like that.
And I don't know if you guys have ever seen or kept up with like Ozzy Osbourne, but like that dude was fried after his years of playing heavy metal. I don't even know what all drugs he took, but he
All of
started
them.
doing
Pretty
all of
much
them.
all of them.
He started doing I think he was taking psilocybin, just little tablets every day, and he made like a pretty remarkable turnaround in my opinion. I think he's good walking evidence of like the power of
Didn't
psychedelics.
Aaron Rodgers just say mushrooms like
No, he did ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca, yeah.
brought him
that
back?
came out.
It made his career.
Well, I
better.
think I don't know. I've never done anything like that,
Me either.
but it's from an outsider perspective. It's like you're perceiving something that doesn't exist.
No, see, my argument to that is everything you're going inside of yourself. It's internal, it's spiritual, it's emotional. And so whether, let's say that you encounter your great grandmother in one of these trances or hallucinations and it helps heal a part of your past, how is that not tangible and real?
Well, not that it's not real. It's just that it's not.
We just can't see it.
We can't see it because I don't know. I forgot where I heard this theory.
Can't see gravity.
Because like when you have that gut feeling, there's actually like brain cells in your stomach. That's why you get that gut
Serotonin?
feeling. I don't know.
Okay. You said talking about gut feeling, like your gut is
Yeah,
your
like-
second brain.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, I have the gut feeling I shouldn't do it, and you physically feel it, the butterflies in your stomach
Fear.
type thing.
Well, back to my initial question though. So it's not this fucking grand conspiracy that whoever's controlling us isn't. There's just people now pushing for laws to make it legal. That's
Well,
basically what it is.
Well, a lot of it was Joe Rogan, bro. A
Shout
lot
out
of
to
it
my
was
boy.
the most influential
Saint
person in
Rogies.
the world talking about it in a positive way. And John Hopkins University did some studies that shed light on the therapeutic uses for post-traumatic stress disorder. And then people with end-of-life anxiety, because they've been diagnosed with terminal illnesses, they would dose them with either psilocybin, which is the ingredient in mushrooms, or LSD, and it helped them.
I was thinking
find
about that.
peace.
If I had my way, I'm going out. Man, just give it to me. I'm dead anyways. Fuck it. Let me go out like that.
Yeah, it
Fuck
gives them peace because they feel like that they're gonna live forever. Like they don't fear death anymore. Yeah.
So you guys are gonna do a documentary of that fella?
I think that's next
That's
on
pretty
the
fucking
agenda.
cool.
Yeah.
That's
Are you excited about that?
Ketamine's
I
a
don't
little
know.
different.
That means you got to do it, right? No,
That's
just
what
kidding.
I was thinking. I was like, man, like it's one of those where it's like we're so on the outside perspective, and like the way we're shooting this one, that we're kind of like we're having people follow us. We're the middleman. So it's like here's the expert, here's us who kind of understands it, but we help translate it to the audience.
Yep.
So it's like if we not like, oh, if we fucking have to do it, but it's like if I have to do it to really understand and portray it the way it should be, then I mean I might have to.
I'm fairly experienced with psychedelics. First time I ever took, cannabis is a psychedelic. Other than that,
For me, it is.
I was about 14 or 15 and took heroic dose of mushrooms. But I would be scared to take ketamine.
I actually do take ketamine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What is it like?
Like
Tell us-
recreationally?
okay, so you go.
No. I take it legally actually. And it's at De Novo Therapy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
it's technically classified as a dissociative drug, which means that once you're induced, you don't really have a sense of self. You kind of lose your bearings in that way, which is really helpful for
Ego
people.
dissolution, basically.
Exactly, yeah. Which is helpful for people who are like, say, depressed or experience some form of trauma, because if you can't touch the thing that's hurting you, how's it going to hurt you, right?
Yep.
It's very vivid though. Like, oh my God.
And they're doing this here in Lubbock.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Even though-
like, tell us what you do when you get there. Like, you pull
Yeah.
up. What happens?
Pull up. So we're not allowed to eat the morning of. We go into the room and we decide a dose. I don't really know how doses are used outside of like this medical use, because like they
Oh, I
still
can
use
tell you.
ketamine in the army.
I've seen
I think.
it.
A lot.
I've seen people do it in the restroom. They just right up there like
Right.
that.
Special K.
Yeah. Well, now they're doing it with a nasal spray.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy. But I've also seen that too.
Yeah. But there's basically two ways to intake it. You can get a shot, and sometimes they'll do what's called a suspended dose. So you might take 40 milligrams, and then 20 minutes later, they'll come in with 30 milligrams just to suspend the peak of that trip, right? Or you can take a drip. I've done both, get it in an IV. I've taken, I think, around 125 milligrams at my highest. But at that point, they'll put an eye mask on you, make you lay down, they'll put music on and stuff. But it's not really like you get to do anything else besides that, because, you know, it's a sedative, right? So I can't move. I can't feel any part of my body. just kind of have to lay there.
So do you do it for like a reason? Like, is there something specific, like a goal out of it that you try to get?
This the group that I do it with, it's called a group cap. We're kind of like, I guess you could say like a test trial, right? Because like the hard part about ketamine therapy is like the modality, because like a therapist would normally see a patient for about an hour a day, but ketamine can take 2.5 hours to get out of your system. And then you're not even allowed to drive after you've taken it, right? So what they're trying to see is if it's more effective to just put a bunch of people in like a room at once, which kind of lowers the cost of the initial like ketamine anyways. So.
Are they paying you guys?
No.
You just do it?
Just do it.
Free ketamine?
So,
That's what it sounds like to me.
do you have any experience with other psychedelics? Any of the classics?
I've taken, psilocybin, LSD.
So how does it compare to those?
I don't think it's even all that similar.
No, not at all.
Not at all. No. You don't feel the same. You definitely don't see the same stuff.
Okay.
And it's kind of like, I've heard people say that they take ketamines at ketamine at parties, and it's like,
how?
I don't even, like how?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'll tell you. Let me tell you what happened. I was talking to this girl, and she went to the restroom to do it, and she came back. We were having a good conversation. I was actually trying to like get her on the this was like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, my bad.
I was actually trying to get her on the podcast. Like my girlfriend actually got mad at me. I was like, no, I was legitimately like fucking talking to her about
I fucking love that, dude.
So she goes to the restroom and she comes back. Like we're having a fucking conversation, and she comes back and she just starts freaking out, and I'm like, you're killing my vibe. Like I started, I'm like, it was weird. She started acting like I've seen people like get crazy on ketamine. It's fucking weird. Like they act.
You shouldn't be in public, man.
Yeah,
it's like fucking baby powder that they put in. I don't know, dude.
that's what I'm saying though. Like they
like when you're saying like, oh, like the way you do it,
Yeah.
I would be okay with that. But if someone's like, hey, dude,
Off
check
the
this,
street.
yeah, someone's like, check this shit out. I'm like, I'm fucking good. Like,
her friends had to get her and she had to leave. I was like, thank God. This was weird.
So is it more of like a very personal experience where you're reliving your past kind of thing?
That it can happen, and those typically happen in like breakthrough doses. I would say like the way it would typically go is it kind of feels like you're suspended in like space, and ketamine will kind of shoot you off to the left or up or down into like different frames. I guess it's almost like walking into paintings.
Okay.
And you'll stay there for a second, kind of explore all there is, and then have an experience, because with each visual, there's also like an emotional part, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you fly off to another place for, around 2 hours.
Have you ever encountered any entities or anything like that?
Not necessarily. I mean, it's kind of hard to explain, because like even locations can have like a certain spiritual aura around them, but it's like, it's an experience, so it's not something that you can really verbalize, right?
For sure.
is it like in a beige lab, or is it kind of like in a bedroom type thing? Like,
I mean, it's just like a room,
Is it at
they'll
Tech?
put mats down. Do what?
Are you at Tech doing
Yeah,
this?
well, not through Tech. This is a totally different organization.
Oh. I was confused.
Yeah, state-sponsored psychedelic trips.
shit.
It's been done before.
Yeah.
Unwillingly.
I was about to say some people didn't know.
Yeah.
Dude, I think I need to do this because I have such problems with control. It sounds like this would just like, I can't let go. I have to control every fucking thing. Maybe I do need to do this because
I feel that way though.
Send my ass off.
You need to like dominate the situation though. Like, I don't know what you were saying about like feeling beyond yourself. I feel that sometimes normally. Like, I don't know if I'm like severely mentally ill or if I have fucking problems, right,
shit.
that I need to take. But like, my dreams are so vivid.
Mhm.
There was a problem because I went to school in San Antonio for a couple years, and I had a problem where I couldn't tell what was real and wasn't real. Like a dream was so realistic. There was one time I was awake, put clothes in the wash, go take a nap, wake up, go put the clothes from the wash to the dryer, go back to my nap, wake up, go to the dryer, it's empty. The clothes are still in the wash, but everything was so fucking real.
Mhm.
I just couldn't tell.
That's very psychedelic in and of itself. Like
But
dreams.
but that happens.
dream
My
state.
dreams are pretty vivid too, dude.
That happens so often that I told my dad, it might run in the family, because I told my dad about it. He's like, yeah, they used to happen when I would work overnight. And he was like, he gave me techniques on how to combat that. He's like, turn something on. So in the dream, if it's not on, you know it's a dream.
Yeah.
So then you can kind of like, okay, I'm not going to take this serious.
Then you lucid dream.
But
And
like
then you do whatever the fuck you want. It's like
every day though,
another type of trip.
every day. That's how all my dreams are.
I had a pretty
Very
vivid
realistic.
dream yesterday, Thursday night, where me and Chris, we went to Taiwan and the fucking military invaded. And I was like, Chris, we got to get the fuck out of here. It was insane. Like, I have very vivid dreams too.
Oh yeah.
And at the end, I was like, this is a dream. But at the beginning, I was like, dude, why are we in fucking Taiwan right now? This is the worst time ever to be there. And Chris was just like, let's just go have fun. I'm like, fuck you, I'm leaving.
Chinese were coming.
Yes, yeah, it was horrible. It was horrible. I have very vivid dreams too.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll have sleep paralysis. It happens every now and then.
That happens every now and then too. That's why I'm afraid of shit like that. That's why I only smoke joints, because like it just like I feel cool, but like that, like I don't know if I would just like transcend even that. Like if
you have to give up a lot of control. Like
that's what I was gonna say. I don't know if my brain's built for that. If it's just gonna fucking melt in my head.
Yeah, it's weird because whenever you first discover psychedelics, there's a very evangelistic kind of tone where you just want to tell everybody. It's like, I found this thing and it really helped me a lot. And it made me realize that my brain and my imagination is far more powerful than I could ever imagine. And you want people to know and you want people to try it. But as you grow older and you mature a little bit, you realize like there are people who can barely, handle reality. People can barely handle being drunk or stoned or whatever. So it's not for everyone. But for people who have, like he was saying, people who have experienced traumatic events or like just any sort of depression, people who have issues with self-love and forgiveness and they blame themselves for things, they could have big breakthroughs with psychedelic medicine. But dreams are also a very spiritual thing.
They're very bad sometimes too.
You ever dream about something and then it happens?
That happened. Yeah. I have one story of that happening, that I was actually able to prevent something happening in real life.
Wow.
And this is like, when it happened, I'm like, I'm a fucking superhero, dude.
Dude, that's pretty cool.
So the story was that my girlfriend at the time, we were in high school, and in this dream, our graduation caps and gowns come in, and we pick them up, we go to the cafeteria, we go outside the cafeteria, and I try mine on. And then the dream kind of skips time a little bit to after school. And she was in this choir, like a church choir, and they were practicing at her house. And I go and she's crying. She's like, oh, like I left my cap and gown at school. It's probably lost forever, this and that. And I was like, oh, where'd you leave it? And I was like, oh, on this table next to the band hall. And then the dream kind of ends. And I wake up and I'm like, holy shit. So I kind of forget about it. Like as the day starts, same thing happens where I go, we pick up the cap and gown. As I'm trying it on, I'm like, oh, I've done this before.
I've never deja vu.
Hard deja vu. I was like, I've done this before. And I remembered the second part of the dream and I was like, holy shit. So I told one of my friends, I was like, hey dude, after school, stay by the band hall and anything on this table right here, pick it up for me. He was like, all right. Go to her house. And I'm like, hey, I'm going to go. I'll be back, whatever. And I meet up with my friend. I was like, what'd you get? He's like, oh, cap and gown. And he's like, is this the name on it? Isn't that your girlfriend? I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, how'd you know it was there? And I was like, oh no, I know she left it there. And I pick it up. But apparently there was like someone else's backpack that he also gave me. So he gave me like more shit too, which was like different. And then same thing happened. She's crying. She's like, my mom's gonna get mad at me. And I was like, to fuck with her, I was like, how much do you love me? And she's like, well, I love you a lot. What do you mean? And I was like, no. Like, how much do you love me? She was like, I do. Like, why are you saying? I'm like, what would you say if I have your cap and gown right now? She's like, oh, you took it from me? I was like, no, like, here it is. She's like, oh my God, I remember leaving it. Like,
nice.
And it was just like a moment. I felt like so cool.
Harness that power, brother.
It felt so fucking cool. I was like, dude.
Are you still with her?
Fuck no, dude.
So if you were a superhero, your superhero name would be Captain Save-A-Ho. No, I'm just kidding. At graduation time.
Yeah, dude. I mean, but that story, I'm like,
damn, you used your powers.
All the other times,
intuition. It's
already happening. Like I'm already experienced it, so it's too late to do anything about it.
Yeah.
And it hasn't happened in a while, but I've had the same dream where I die, and I'm like, if I die like this,
he won't tell us how though.
I won't. I've had the same. I've had the same way.
I had a dream where I died, and I really died. And this is like, when I tell this story, people are like, "What the fuck do you mean?" It was like I met up with this girl in San Antonio, and I'm like visiting my parents, and like we hear her knock on the door because we're at the dinner table, and I answer the door, and she shoots me, and I remember like bleeding out, and in my dream everything going black.
That's happened to me.
And then nothing. I remember nothing, like just pure black silence, whatever, just non-existence. And then I'm like, I'm reincarnated into like a baby, and I live this whole life. Like I lived like almost every day as this child, all the way up to high school. And this fucking dream that was like 6 hours of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get to the part where I'm in high school, and one day I'm just walking home, and a car drives by, and I look, and it's the same fucking girl who shot me, just older. What? And as the little girl, I'm like, like I just remembered that I got shot in my old life, and I'm like, oh my god, I gotta tell somebody dream ends. And when I woke up, the scariest part was that I was freaking out because I'm like, holy shit, I thought I died. I still had that shock factor in my body that I thought I was actually fucking dead, and I was sweating,
Bro,
and fucking shaking.
I pretty much had the same experience.
And I was like, oh my god, dude, I thought I really fucking died in my dream.
I was bleeding out in my dream too, and I just remember black too. And I fucking woke up in sheer panic. I was like, what the fuck? I don't want to die. Hell no.
Yeah, I remember that. I was like, oh my god, dude, I experienced death, and I don't want that. Please.
Oh, fuck. We experienced the same thing. Oh, no. What are you looking up over there?
Oh, well, there's a big correlation between dreaming and dimethyltryptamine, DMT. It's the most powerful psychedelic, and our body creates it. It's like in every single plant. And, there's studies that they're showing from, I guess, biological standpoint. They're doing brain scans on people, and it basically induces awake. You're awake, but you're dreaming. So it's kind of the exact same thing. Dreaming is like tripping. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
You've done DMT?
I have, but I've never experienced it to the extent that this is describing.
Have you done DMT?
I've not yet. That's on the bucket list, though.
Yeah.
It's just like, around here, I don't know if I'm going to get like...
Well,
Straight
I was
DMT.
about to say, one of my friends did it from somebody who made it, and it fucked him up. He's still weird. Like, he completely changed of like who he was.
See, and that's
Really?
that's the thing.
Yeah.
Is it's like
Fuck.
it's
Which
such
is
a
why I won't
potent
do it.
psychedelic.
Fuck that.
You have to be prepared going into that stuff.
Yeah, people. are
Maybe
crazy.
like in a lab setting, it might be all right. But the way he did it, I was
know-
like,
Nah,
he
but
probably
even
did
that's
fucking
fucking
pipe
weird.
cleaner and shit. I don't know.
mental health is a big deal, right? And so when you're dealing with very powerful things, whether it's substances or even just the internet, so many people are losing their mind just because they have access to technology. Think about that. Whenever you get on Facebook or Instagram, I kind of almost see it as like, who has the worst mental health here? You know what I mean? And it's very it's displayed, and there's just the feed of it.
It's because I think everyone's fucking stupid, but it's how much
Yeah.
they allow themselves to be stupid. Because my old teacher, Mr. Sanchez, he was telling me this. Man, he had so many like concepts and ideas just that he thought of originally, and then like you start to see it everywhere.
Yep.
He was like, well, people don't allow stuff to go into their subconscious. Like there's a cache of information that you put after enough time, it goes into your subconscious. So you truly learn it. You truly remember, resonate with it. But when you just like on Facebook, Instagram, it just resets.
Yeah.
So it's like, just don't allow yourself to fucking be stupid and actually let shit soak into you. Let it be a part of your life. Because if you're just,
It's all about the dopamine. People are just
because if
addicted
people are
to
like, oh, I'm a
dopamine.
gym bro, it's like, oh, you just watch shit on Instagram. It's like, no, let it be a part of your life. Do those things, and then it will truly change your fucking
benefit
life.
your lifestyle.
Yeah,
For sure.
and it's like, I don't know, people just
That's what we try to do. I try to teach Roy about that.
But
Now he's a kickboxer.
I was telling him that. Hell yeah, dude. I don't know. I hate to call it like, I think because I've been getting like more physically active and healthier, and I've been like, I figured out the perfect amount of sleep I need, and it's like really fucking helped me. I feel a lot healthier. I'm only saying this because I think like I hate calling it this, but I feel called to do mushrooms, dude. I do. I feel like I'm called to do.
Yeah,
Need to
I know
do
a
it.
guy.
I'm also called to go back to church, which I will be doing tomorrow. Today's Saturday. But
Oh, you're going to church tomorrow?
I'm going back to church.
Oh,
You're
we've
going
been
to
going
New
ch-
Grace?
Are we
I was
gonna go
gonna
to
say,
church
yeah, we've been
tomorrow?
going to church. My ex from here from Tech, she's like, you should go to church. I'm like, I fucking go every Sunday, dude. I run the show.
Which one?
Nice.
Oh, the Grace one.
Yeah.
But
Well, we don't work there anymore, but yeah, that one's off of 66.
Yeah, 66.
Yeah, he's opening up a campus in Dallas. So
That's cool. Churches pop up all the time. I think I should start a church, Roy. Be the Church of Mushrooms.
I got you.
Yeah?
We'll promote it.
yeah, we'll do commercials for it.
Hell yeah. Because imagine how much doper church would be if they gave you psychedelics right before.
Well, imagine if they laced the wafer cookies, the body
Yeah.
of Christ. I mean, it's like, dude, spice that shit up.
The
dude.
wine has.
In
a
my
little bit of
opinion,
something.
that's where it all came from. That's where spirituality originated, from people eating something and then experiencing God directly, because that's what happens.
That's what I'm saying. Like that idea when people take the body of Christ, it's like you're putting a part of God into you. You're supposed to feel something, but it's just a fucking wafer cookie.
Yeah.
I think historically, like, there have been witch trials in England due to like, there's a certain bacteria mold,
Yeah,
something that
argon.
grows in rye.
It's a. Rogan was just talking about it. It's argon,
Argon, okay.
and it grows over like frost. and then they cultivated it and made it into bread.
It's
they were
actually
eating
called
it.
ergot.
Whatever the
argon.
fucking word is. Who gives a fuck? Sorry. But yeah, it made him
Argon
fuck.
is like a.
I was gonna say the
periodic
element.
table,
You know,
yeah.
you know what the fuck I was talking about. Yeah, he was just talking about it on
It's
Rogan.
fungus that grows
Oh,
on
that's
rye.
And
It's similar to
I was
LSD.
wrong. Let me admit I was wrong real quick. Yeah, and they started tripping and freaking out and blaming witches.
Yeah.
Thought they were being demon possessed, and to be fair, pretty convincing. I mean, it's, especially for that time, not knowing what the hell is going on.
Ergot.
And it's so weird if you think about like the way they used to drink like ale and alcohol all the time, but when they have like a psychic trip, they like freak the fuck out. Like it's just such a stark difference.
Well,
Like,
they used to put psychedelics into their wine. They would put mushrooms and shit in their wine.
The Greeks.
Yeah, the Greeks, the Egyptians, they all like all throughout history, these major civilizations that had risen, they all had some sort of like mystery, behind their what was it? What do they call it? I don't know. Anyway, everybody was tripping. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Let me ask both of y'all this since y'all done it. Do you think that it when it breaks those barriers between you and something else, whatever that is, maybe it is God. Do you think it's real? Do you think it's like legitimately real? Whatever is on that other side, the elves, the fucking leprechaun, whatever the fuck, God.
It's kind of weird. I do believe in like synchronicities, right? Because like with DMT, a lot of people will say they encounter the mother spirit. I've never done it personally. I don't know if you ever got to see that.
We have to do this, dude.
who the fuck is her? Dude, is she bad?
Gaia?
Well, I mean, like apparently
The
she
guy
shows
in
up to
spirit.
like
The divine,
yeah.
the divine feminine.
Yeah, she's amazing. God is a woman.
But I mean, and it's like, a lot of people having the same experiences, doing the same substance. I mean, I don't know if you want to chalk that down just to like brain chemistry or whatever explanation you think. But I think the things that we believe in, we kind of bring power to, right? Whatever you believe in can be true.
Exactly.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be true for everyone, right?
Perception is reality.
Yeah.
Perception is reality.
So
Well,
you
that's what
can
I
create
guess
your
what
own
I mean.
I
perception.
was gonna say that's what they say about magic. It's just science we don't understand yet.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of shit that we're like, well, how the fuck does that happen? There's a science behind it. We're just stupid.
Oh no, it's out there.
Do you guys
Solomon.
listen? You guys listen to Rogan?
Oh, yeah.
Because he's had these two. Sam Tripoli, shout out to him. But he had Corbell. What the hell? is
Jeremy
it?
Corbell?
Yeah, on the other day, and they were talking about how like some of these fucking really smart people who are flying $1 million aircrafts. Of course, they're the best of the best, and they're like these things just show up. And I was just like, and they're like, what if they're interdimensional?
Interdimensional, yeah. They
Just
are.
like whatever the hell it is. Like, do you think these medicine breaks down the barriers like these between dimensions?
Yes.
I think alcohol could do that.
Everything's about like vibration and wavelengths, and it basically makes your brain vibrate at a certain wavelength where you're tuning into a frequency.
Because I
Like
forgot
God
who
frequency?
said they were like, well, we have eyes to perceive sight and stuff like that. It's like, what if we were missing an organ to perceive something that is there that we just don't know? Like that gut feeling when you feel like you're being watched.
Yeah.
That could actually be something. We
Yeah.
just don't really understand it because we can't perceive it.
Yeah. What if we lived in a country where they didn't give you all the information because they wanted to control the population to keep you stuck inside of a system that made them rich?
China.
Like Facebook?
El Facebook.
Like the modern
Social
world, like
media?
right now.
El Facebook.
A lot of people don't realize like television and all this technology is pushed by the CIA. They're it's population control.
Hey, it's pretty fucking fun though, dude. Pornhub's
Pretty
goes
effective.
pretty fucking hard, dude.
It's pretty effective.
I wonder what it would be like to get in the mind of somebody who lives like in like China or North Korea or something, like
Well, like people
what their reality is.
Well, me and my friends, we talk about like, I forgot the fucking name we were talking about last night. Like NPCs, people who just don't see their place in the universe. It's just like, yeah, you go to work, you come home, you watch TV. That's it. You don't think of beyond yourself. And it, like, that fucking scares me.
That's the trend. Yeah.
That fucking scares me though. And like, I had this really fucking sad moment in my life. And it wasn't even a bad thing. My mom, she works payroll at the casino, and she was working at home, and she had this, like the system, this interface for the payroll system. And on it, they have like a little game where you can like feed buffalo. And it's just like to kill time, right? Like you're not always working. And my mom showed it to me. She's like, hey, check this out. She did it. And I got like a deep sadness in me because I was like, I don't know. It felt like this little game just destroyed my reality because it's like, does my mom ever think of like traveling or like doing something like greater beyond herself for the community? Or like, yeah, she does stuff for her family because she's fucking badass. But
I get what you're saying.
it made me feel like, oh my God, like I don't feel connected to my mom because I don't think like her at all.
Yeah.
And it made me feel so like shit.
Everybody's
this,
brain's
like-
being hijacked, dude.
After this little fucking 8-bit fucking Buffalo game. And I was like, oh shit. Like I had like, what the fuck?
You know what
just
makes me
happened?
sad? When I go to restaurants or anywhere and you see kids with cell phones and iPad just fucking staring at it the whole time. That makes me sad.
That is
Because people are being like they never had a chance. The addiction to the technology and the dopamine that it releases, it's like cocaine.
They said that. Like,
But it's
in
socially
the coming
acceptable.
years, we're gonna see the effects of like these kids who grew up on that
Yeah.
when they're a little older. It's gonna be weird.
I have children and I use it as like it. Don't get me wrong, it's unavoidable as far as like them wanting to watch movies and be exposed to technology. But I try to limit it and I create boundaries around it. So what can you do?
I think I missed out on that. Like when I was growing up, I was really into games. Wasn't really like that social.
Mhm.
And I remember specific times where I was like, I'm gonna play games. And my great grandparents were there visiting. And now I get so sad because they were like, my great grandpa wrote an autobiography, and he was like a photographer. He crossed over illegally. He has fucking amazing stories. And there were so many opportunities I could have talked to him, but I fell into that trap really early. But I've realized that now I'm like, holy shit! I just try to like be one with everyone I'm with. I'm like, dude, let's just fucking talk, dude. I don't give a fuck what we're doing. Let's just hang
I
out.
like doing this.
Yeah.
It's fun just to talk,
Oh yeah.
hear people's stories. I love storytelling. God, that's one of my favorite things. I love a good storyteller. Shout out to Joey Diaz, the best in the world.
Oh my God. I
Yeah,
love
good.
Joey.
He's releasing a book. Did you know that?
Seriously.
In April. I'm
Damn.
excited about that one.
It's fine. He's finally going to release that book. That's going to be great.
It's gonna be fucking insane.
Joey Diaz is top G, mate.
I think it's called The Life of a Savage Comedian or something like that. Shout out to him.
Pretty solid, man.
Who are some of y'all's influences, would you say, other than Mr. Sanchez?
I was gonna say public influences.
Like
Fuck.
that influence you maybe in like
An artistic way.
yeah, perfect. There you go.
Mm.
Thanks for
I don't think there's like one person in particular with me, but I always do respect the people that are willing to see the trends and go the opposite direction. Try to do things completely different than the norm, you know. And that's what I think I would like to try to do.
Nice.
I don't know. For myself, I don't. It's more about the situation at hand, because a lot of the times that I remember, like, oh, this movie's badass or this studio's badass, it's more about my experience with it. So it's like one of my favorite movies ever is the Sherlock Holmes movie, The Game of Shadows, the second one. It's a really fucking good movie. But when I look at reviews, everyone talks mad shit about it when they deconstruct and review it. It's kind of so-so. But I remember watching it. That was the first movie I actually remember watching with my dad. So it, like, I just really fucking love the movie because of that. So when people are like, oh, what artistically influenced you? It's more about like the people around that situation or that project or that video. So it's like, oh, if my dad's like, hey, that's pretty badass, I remember that more than the actual project. So I can't really like, oh yeah, Casey Neistat or like this or that. I can't really do that because I'm like, oh no, it's usually everyone around me who says something that I'm like, oh shit, that's
They
pretty
put
good.
you on the game, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck Casey Neistat, dude. I don't know. Mr. Sanchez would show us so many fucking videos that were like, dude, some rich guy in New York, dude. We cannot fucking relate to this guy right now.
I'm not gonna lie, I used to like watching when he would like fly like like a $30,000 flight,
Like I
to like Dubai or whatever.
I
That's
think
pretty
it's cool.
It is cool.
But like it was kind of like force fed a little bit. And like we learned off of it. It's not like it wasn't for nothing, but like, man, it was too much, dude. It's like when they put too much fucking broccoli on your plate, dude. It's like, all right, where's the potatoes?
Do you guys feel like y'all have said everything you want to say? Is there anything else that you can think of that you want to get out there?
Damn. I guess just keep waiting on us to release stuff. I mean, we're not going to be stopping anytime soon.
Hell yeah.
And we're, more than just documentary makers. We'll do a lot for media, any form of production, really. So,
Yeah, I'm actually working on this project. I want to include Eli, but I have a secret goal in it that it's not going to include Eli.
Secret's coming out. Holy shit.
So, well, it's the short film I was telling you
It
about.
took an hour.
Yeah, so I'm working on the short film. I'm like primarily a writer. So I wrote this book and it was pretty cool. I liked it, right? But when we started working together, I was like, I think we can make this into a production. So I was trying to translate it to a script. And right now we're going to start on a storyboard for it, work on the proposal and the pitch deck. And I'm trying to make this film with only people from Eagle Pass because there's so much raw talent there. There's one of the radio stations I used to intern at there fucking went out of business like 3 weeks ago. It was fucking sad. So it's like I want to provide opportunities for people in Eagle Pass. And with this short film, I've been kind of like getting the band back together, all my old classmates and shit. I'm like, hey, dude,
pretty cool.
I'm gonna work on this shit. Like, you down? And so it's like a thriller suspense movie. It's gonna be shot. There's a little strip of town called Loma Alta, right there between Del Rio and Sonora. And like right now we're like in the pre-production. Like I said, we're still working on the pitch deck and the proposal, but there's this project that I'm working on that we're gonna hopefully shoot next June. We're gonna do casting calls and crew calls in November, October.
Nice. So you guys are currently like in the process of filming still with the documentary that we were originally talking about?
Yes, yeah,
So
we're still filming.
When can we expect that to be out?
I think we were both going to shoot for like end of August, maybe early September at the latest.
Oh, okay,
Where are you
that's
gonna
quick.
Where are you gonna put it out at?
So originally we kind of wanted to do the film festivals, but that kind of costs money because it's like, well, we want to attend the festival itself. We were
Start a GoFundMe.
that's what I was thinking. I was thinking about like getting some funds and stuff like that. But what we wanted to do is hold a premiere here in town for all the vendors to attend, and hopefully hold a pop-up event afterwards, because you're gonna watch this badass documentary. It's gonna hype you up, and now you can engage with that community directly afterwards.
Oh yeah.
So we kind of want to do that.
That's fucking cool.
We kind of want to do that as like the premiere, and then we wanted to see if we could take it to like a film market to sell it. But we had this idea to extend it into a series. So with each individual seller, they have their own story, and we really want to like show their specific story. So this main one originally was based off of 3 people, but it's going to be like the intro
Gotcha.
episode, showcase everything, lay the foundation, understand the community, how everyone is, then go into each person, each episode.
That's awesome.
So maybe take it to a film market, start producing it, stuff like that. So, I mean, the thing is, we want to make money from this. We want to sustain ourselves. So we're trying to make it lucrative in a fun way.
For sure.
Because it's like, yeah, we could put it on YouTube and try some stuff, but it's going to like, maybe not. Or we could like, hey, do you know someone who's interested in buying or like producing, or like, do you know someone who knows someone? Like, we'd rather go through the trenches because it's more rewarding.
For sure.
So right now,
Getting that experience, paying your dues.
yeah, late
Hell yeah.
August, we'll have a premiere here in town. We'll let everybody know. We might put it like maybe like on a YouTube, just so we can like share it with the people who worked on it or people who were there. But our main goal is to like go further, not just like, oh, we're just gonna post it on YouTube and hope it does well. We're just gonna like, all right, let's fucking do it.
Awesome.
Hell yeah. Well, I've been saying this, that I think Lubbock is on this. It's like something special is brewing here, and I think it's something's here, and I think it's like about to pop. And a lot of great people. If you did, you fucking paid your dues. A lot of people didn't. Who said they were? I always like to talk shit, so I think Lubbock's about to be great. Would you guys say?
I think Lubbock has a knack for producing some very unconventional people. A lot of people who were on the cusp of greatness. I mean, like Buddy Holly, the Maines brothers, Mac Davis, they were all from Lubbock.
There's a lot of people from
a lot
here.
of success. And we have, apparently an underground clothing market. I think Lubbock's also one of the premier places in Texas for live music. I mean, you can't overlook that there's a lot going on in Lubbock that a lot of people don't get exposed to. And someday it's going to get the exposure it deserves.
We're going to help that, right?
Yes, that's what we're doing. Yeah, I think I'm trying to do my part. But do you think that's about to happen in the coming years? I say within 10 years. That's what I've said. 10 years. I know that's a
I
long.
might be out of here.
I know that, but I think 10 years from now, Lubbock is going to be like, because like my friend Chris, he just opened his thing. I think if we can continue doing this might be really solid. The Buddy Holly Center, there's a lot of good live music, like you're saying. Maybe these vintage guys continue doing their thing. And I like brick and mortar. I understand why you sell online. That's a smart thing to do, but I love the brick and mortar thing.
Yeah.
A lot of food, like people doing restaurants here, it's fucking crazy. And I think it's going to happen. I'll say 5 years, maybe 5-10 years. That's what I give it.
You'll be my age, Roy.
I'll be pretty solid. You think so? You think something's crazy going to happen here?
I don't know. People have been saying that about Eagle Pass for like fucking 20 years, dude. They're like, oh, we're going to get a fucking Starbucks. We just got it last year. And they've been saying it since like fucking 2002. Like,
They were right, though.
they were right, but I already graduated. I dipped, But so like, I don't know. I'm more of an observer in Lubbock. And that's how we kind of want to approach the project, is like we want to observe it and respect it.
Yeah.
So I can't really comment on something like that because I've only lived here for like going on 2 years.
From the outside looking in, though.
Yeah.
There's
From
some
the outside
pretty-
looking in, I
Pretty
think
like cool people here. Cool is like a lame word to use, but
it's like when you engage with it though, because that's the thing is like a lot of people move to the city and then they just expect shit to pop off. It's like, no, dude.
Oh yeah.
You have to go out. You have to go meet people, talk to people.
You got to be
like
the party.
that. Yeah, like the same thing we did for the documentary. It's like, dude, fuck it. We're just gonna go talk to people. Like,
Yeah.
If not, we're gonna have one guy. Documentary's gonna be shit. So it's like when people are like, oh, dude, I'm gonna be a model. It's like, oh yeah, where do you work? Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen any places yet. It's like, all right, dude. Like, I don't
I'm
know.
glad we share the same mentality, kind of. You and I. See people go out and do things. Make Lubbock great. Damn it. A lot of people are doing stuff though, so that's really good.
Like you said, there's a lot of talent. There's a lot of talented people, a lot of talented ideas, and it's like they just happen to be happening in Lubbock. And it's like, well, we have to emphasize that and showcase it.
There you go,
So,
guys. Where can they follow you?
okay,
Looking-
so cinema_3 studios, cinema_3 studios. I fucking hate that shit.
That girl keeps popping up. I'm not gonna be able to show this.
Yeah, she's kind of bad.
Hold on.
She owns the gym that I do kickboxing at.
Okay, let me refresh. Then.
Yeah, I don't know. I wanna
Hopefully
say
she's
that
not
on
all
there.
over your feed. CINEMA underscore
_3.
underscore.
There's right there.
Right there, yeah.
The number 3
Yep. Delete one?
right here.
No, delete one.
How do
Like just backspace. That one right there.
Okay.
So we only posted one thing because, like I said, we popped it off like 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago.
Oh shit.
Logo by Victor De Luna. Interview that we had
Click
with
on that. Let me
JT.
see this.
Yeah, we have some solid equipment helping us out.
Oh, was this at Next Generation?
That was on Next Gen. Just getting some B-roll of it.
Who handles the camera?
Both
Both
of
of
us.
us.
I like this blanket right here. It's the Idle Wildcats.
Idol.
Yeah. Yeah, we kind of both do everything. I own like 99% of the equipment. He just bought a tripod actually before we got here. So it's like,
Oh yeah, boys.
so it's like whenever I introduce myself, I'm like, oh, it's my partner Eli, and people are like, oh, you came out as gay. I'm like, not yet, dude.
That's hilarious.
But most of the time, I'm like, yeah, I kind of own everything. But it's like I'm working like side by side with them on this project. So
Dude, it's always cool to meet people who are doing sort of like what we're trying to do. Just put the spotlight on people.
yeah,
I like that. And where can they follow you? Just follow. Do you have an Instagram or anything like that?
Nah, not really.
I didn't think you did. I didn't want to assume, but I was like, I don't think you have an
I'm
Instagram.
not huge on like social media, to be honest.
All right, man. Well,
the picture you have for your Instagram profile picture, it goes pretty hard, dude.
Used to be, yeah. No, it's Gonzo now.
all righty, guys. Well, whenever you get this one done, I hope we can go to it, first of all.
Oh yeah, I mean
yeah.
we'll
Kind of inviting myself.
share like a trailer with you guys and stuff like that. We're trying to make stuff specific for each vendor. I mean, we'll make something for you to share as well, stuff like
yeah,
that.
we'll do
Nice.
it. And we have like 5 different fucking accounts we can share it on. So
Yeah.
we got you. Whenever you guys do it with that other guy, I would like to have you guys bang on because I want to do a podcast with him. If you can get me in contact with him, that'd
Hell
be
yeah.
pretty amazing.
That'd
But
be that guy right there.
when you guys do, if you guys do more stuff and you want to come on again, because this was great, I liked it, I enjoyed it, and
Yeah.
I'm glad we can go from here and see what happens, man.
Yeah,
Absolutely, dude.
Swag. Are you back on finally with your damn podcast or what?
Why you keep asking me that? Just
gotta
because
get you-
just because somebody made me a logo.
Yeah,
I need
pretty
I
badass
need to get
logo.
back on there. I need to get back on. I feel like my beta testing is completed and now I need to get it going. But anyway, I just want to say y'all need to check these guys out whenever this documentary drops. Support your local artists. I think this is a very interesting subject that they're doing it on, and yeah, everybody wins.
Here you go. Go shop season 3, 1519 34th Street.
Shout out to season 3. Just got
sir.
some new
I got
merch
mine.
yesterday.
I got mine on too.
Super comfortable.
Follow us on social media, everything at the Snake Pit with Rattlesnake Roy. Thank you guys, and one love, man.
Peace.